Hey everybody, Brandon here, Mr. B's Fishing Things. We'll go check out some tanks and see what's going on. So let's go take a look at this fella right here. You guys haven't really seen this too much. Okay guys, so I don't know if this is going to pick this up or not, but do you see those little tiny fish? They are crazy small. Well, this is my shrimp tank. So why are there baby fish in my shrimp tank? Well, there's baby fish in my shrimp tank because when I started my shrimp tank, see, there really are shrimp in here. When I started my shrimp tank, in order to get it going kind of thing, I put these guys in there. Danios. I keep danios around the fish room all the time. And I put all of them in there because they're a good indicator of what the tank health is like, and they're really good at, you know, getting some beneficial bacteria going. Now I use things like this sponge bag here in an established tank when I start a new tank, or if I need a little bit of health boost in another tank or something like that. So that's how I started that shrimp tank of mine. Speaking of which, here's the other shrimp tank. This one's full of wilds. This was my first attempt at shrimp, was, you know, how do we raise shrimp? So what I did was I got some wilds from somebody and put them in this tank. And as you see, I've got a leaf in there, a local leaf, and some moss, and a lot of lava rock, because I felt they could kind of swim all around and through that and figure out what they wanted to eat and to hide and all that sort of thing in the lava rock, right? And I kind of learned about shrimp this way in this little tank. So most of these tanks down here I keep for breeding, including the danios I was hoping to try to attempt to breed, but I really hadn't set forth to doing so just yet. But musical tanks seem to be the trick. So what I ended up with was a shrimp tank with baby danios in it. I left the danios in here for a little while, and then I moved them out because they're kind of high activity, and I thought maybe they were bothering my new shrimp. See all the little baby fish? I got no idea how many are in here, but there's a pile of them. I know how many shrimp I have because I know how many I bought, and I can regularly sort of track them down and find them. And I found one body since we started it, so I lost one. But I started off with 8. Now I have 7. And I think they've started to breed in here. I have seen some females with the little eggs they carry on their bellies. But in the meantime, I've got baby danios developing in here. Which I think is kind of fascinating. What fun. So, you know, you play musical tanks and you end up with, you know, baby fish. Which is kind of fun. So yeah, I've got some plants in here, and we've got lava rock. This little thing you guys keep seeing floating around here is a little piece of krill. But I tell you, I am thoroughly enjoying sitting down here and watching and looking at the shrimp do their thing. And I'm fascinated with the little baby fish that we have here, because I didn't really intend to breed danios in here. And I know they're hard to pick up. But that's my shrimp tank. So now to tell you a little bit more about my shrimp tank. This is a tank that I built from leftover glass. The trims are off of a 65 gallon, which is what made me decide what size to build this at, was because it was a 4-foot tank that was a 65 gallon I had trims for. So then it's very thick glass, it's like 10 mil glass, and I decided to cut the glass to fit these trims, and I wanted a very low tank. So it's only foot high. It's 4 feet wide, and it's like I think 20 inches deep from front to back. And I leave it open topped, and I've hung this LED light off of some cable down fairly low over top of it. I've got a heater in there, and I got it turned down really, really low. But the only reason I do have a heater is because this tank sits on the bottom of this rack, which is really quite low. And I'm not cleaning the tank at all. I let the calcium and stuff build up on the sides, and I have hard water here. I let that sort of build up on the sides, and I'm just doing water top-offs. I used an existing sponge when I set it up, and it was a fairly low sponge that I had and liked. And I haven't been cleaning anything, and I've got some leaves in there for them to sort of munch off of. And I'm sure I'm doing all kinds of things wrong, having not had a lot of experience with shrimp before. However, I am having a lot of fun with it. And I think the health of this tank must be fairly decent. I know all the water parameters are good, but it must be fairly decent considering I've got baby fish and I've got shrimp that are producing. And what a lot of fun. If you haven't done shrimp yet, coming from a cichlid guy, you got to try some shrimp. It makes it something fun. And I put it on this low, the bottom of this stand, and what I have down here is I have this mat on the floor, like a cushion mat that you use, so I can lean down on it and really sit here and look at it and study it. And I find myself here looking at this tank a lot. So here they are. A little better look. Trying anyway. Hard to focus on them, hard to catch them all. They've already kind of learned that when I come around the tank, they sort of come around a little bit. I thought they would spook, but they don't really. They figured out that, hey, that's where the food comes from, I guess. I haven't the slightest idea how to figure out how many's in here. I don't know what they normally would produce, especially having not really tried to do it on purpose to begin with, at least not here. The shrimp are turning out to be pretty fun. They're much more active than they initially were. They were sort of shy at first. But they certainly are interesting to watch. Now I have no idea how to grade them or anything like that. I'm sure there's lots of you out there that could tell me more about them. But for now, I'm just trying to learn how to keep them. So there's a little glimpse into my shrimp adventures and evidently danio babies. Thanks for watching.